From Amos Morale.
Hey, one of the things you guys have done really well on special teams is keeping the opponent's starting field position. And I was just wondering, how did that help you guys on defense, particularly this last week, but moving forward, how does that help you guys?
Starting off the game with them backed up, always a plus. Put them in a weird situation to score points. We just appreciate those guys for hustling and going all out.
And I guess I'll follow up with particularly that San Francisco offense. A lot of receivers have been able to get a lot of big plays. What have you guys seen from them, and particularly as a secondary, what do you guys have to look out for this week?
They got a lot of weapons. We just got to stay disciplined. Got to be good with our eyes, and just watch your man.
Amos, you can follow up.
Okay. Well, particularly a couple young receivers. The rookie Brandon Ayuk, he's had a pretty big game, a couple pretty big games recently. What have you guys seen from him, and what sort of made him so effective?
Great hands. Vertical guy. They like to target him on third down, and we just got to be mindful of it.
And then obviously last week you guys had you know, I guess you could say one of your cleanest games of the season. Um, how how do you take that and build upon it, or what can you take from it, if anything?
It just started in practice. All about the communication, knowing the call, getting lined up fast, and just playing football.
And then I know on offense we can see a guy, when they kind of get on a roll. But do you feel like on defense anybody has kind of gotten on a roll that maybe the stats aren't showing it, but somebody that you guys in that unit have felt has been playing really well lately?
Everybody, communication, like I said, swarming to the ball, the front and the back end, and everybody being on the same page.
Anybody have anything else for Jackrabbit?
Anything else, guys?
Sorry, I my Zoom on my computer
But
wouldn't
I got
work, so
lucky.
I had to hop on my phone. Technical difficulties as always. Yeah, I've got one. Sorry if this was asked already. Jack Rabbit, how do you feel halfway through the season now? How do you feel that things have continued to progress with the secondary?
I feel like we've been doing a good job. We struggled early in the season. Once again, it fall back on communication, knowing the call of the defense, and knowing what's going on around you.
How do you feel that last week, the success on all sides of the ball really has will help moving forward in terms of just having that momentum?
We see the potential that we have, but basically we just got to keep following up every game, um, playing lights out football, everybody on the same page, communicating, and just knowing what's coming and when it's coming.
Have you had a chance to talk with Quan Alexander yet? I know that's not your position group, but
I mean,
he's new.
we chat every now and then. Just getting to know each other, bonding. He'll come and holler at us on the back end and talk to us on the field, but it's all about bonding.
How do you feel that he can contribute on the defense?
He can help a lot. He know football. He been playing it a long time. Um, a great athlete to be a linebacker, and you just got to come in and focus.
All right, I think we're all set. Appreciate it,
Awesome.
Jackrabbit.
Yep.
Thanks, Jackrabbit.
Yep.
couple days now that y'all have had Quan practicing with y'all. I guess what are your first impressions of him, and what do you think he can add to the defense?
Really good football player. Plays with a ton of energy. Really smart. Incredible savviness at the linebacker position. Yeah, I think he's just gonna fit right in.
Everything okay over there?
Yeah, that was a phone that dropped. I tried to catch it. Reflexes was a little too slow.
Alvin caught it yesterday.
Next question's from Nick Underhill.
Is there anything that you got to do to help him get up to speed? Have you been kind of spending some time with him and helping him out where he needs it?
No, I mean I feel like he's came in and picked up the defense really quickly. Him and Coach Hodges have spent a lot of time together. They've done an incredible job. Of course, I'll probably be responsible for making a lot more of the checks on the field and just helping him with like a few of those. But I mean, he's a really smart guy. He's a veteran in the game, so I think he'll be able to come in and a lot of the things that we're doing is probably similar to a lot of the things that he's done before.
Next question's from Luke Johnson.
DeMario, how important is it going to be to have your eyes right this week? Especially, I know they're missing a bunch of guys, but it seems like they usually scheme up some ways to get guys open anyways.
Yeah, I just think generally, as a defensive player, especially as a linebacker, it's vital for you to have your eyes right, especially when they're doing, turbos and motions and shifts and all the different things, and they do a lot. So make sure that we're having our eyes in the right place, but also just playing with a ton of energy and being physical. They have a really good football team, and they do a good job, calling plays and getting the matchups they want. So we got to be locked in, disciplined, and playing, running to the football.
Next question's from Amos Morale.
Hey, so when we look on offense, it's easy to look at stats and see, who's kind of getting on a roll. On defense, is there anybody you feel is kind of, really picked it up these last couple of weeks, or is kind of finding a groove that maybe the stats don't show?
I think it's just not, you can't say it enough about the importance of Marshawn Lattimore, and when he plays at a high level, I just feel like he's just an X factor in that way. When he plays at a high level, the defense plays at a high level. But also Malcolm Jenkins is playing at a high level. A lot of times he's going in and taking cats out of the game, but he also is applying a lot of pressure and playing in the box. You could just name a guy on the defensive line. All those guys are playing at a high level. Even CD Deuce has just been lights out at the nickel spot for us. So you got a lot of guys that are playing at a high level, and it's important for them to play at a high level, for our defense to play at a high level.
Next one's from Nick Underhill.
With all the dime you guys are playing, and then you being at Mike a little more often, how has your role changed a little bit this year compared to last year?
Moving over from Will to Mike is an adjustment. I take a lot of pride in my game, and finding a way to be efficient at whatever I'm asked to do. And so playing the linebacker position, you still have to be sound in the run game. You still have to be sound in the pass game. You still have to be a good pressure player, and that's something I take a lot of pride in doing. It's a bit of an adjustment going to Mike, because it just I guess you could say like the angle that you're looking at plays is different, and so it's just about retraining your eyes. It's something that I've done before, but I had being here, I just trained myself to be lock in on the wheel position as I adjusted to that, and now it's just adjusting back to the mic. I feel like I'm probably more naturally a mic, so it's easy for me to kind of learn on the fly and get back adjusted to it. But just understanding that being in the center of the defense is important for me to help get guys lined up. It's important for me to constantly be getting to the ball, and then when the plays come my way, being able to make them. And as a central part, like the nucleus of the defense. So it's my job to make sure that the energy is there and all the guys on the same page.
Do you feel like your eyes have been retrained to that, and was it a little process maybe early in the season to get back to where you're comfortable with it?
Yes, it's an adjustment. You know, I can't kind of downplay it. It's an adjustment. They're not the same position at all. Will is a lot more out in space. You're only looking at one side of the field. You generally just have tight ends and running backs coming out the backfield. In the middle, it's a lot more central, so you can be responsible for a flow to go out to both sides either time. You're playing a lot more on the 3 side versus the single receiver side or just the 2 side. So it's a lot more to be able to train your eyes at. Also seeing the run plays from a different location. It's an adjustment, but I mean I welcome challenges, and it's something that I've done before. So it's not like I'm having to recreate the wheel or try to do something that I've never done before. It's almost just like remembering the way that I did it before, and doing it in the nuances of this defense. So it says a lot that my coaches have that type of confidence in me to be able to make that adjustment in the middle of the season. So if they cool with it, I'm cool with it.
Next one's from Luke Johnson.
Marty, it seems like you guys have been getting like a lot of sacks and stuff in the 3rd and 4th quarter this year. Do you think that's like a product of just how deep you guys are on the defensive line, or is it something else?
I think it's a testament to the talent that we have, and also a testament to the scheme. I think our coaches do a phenomenal job in putting together 3rd down pressure packages and a good sound rush game plan. We feel like it's more of our identity. When we're getting pressure on the quarterback, when we're forcing takeaways, we play better as a defense. We play better as a team. And so I think that's just kind of how we look at ourselves. We want to be a disciplined defense and, make them check the ball down and drive the long, hard way. But we're also kind of like a fast break type of defense. We play with a lot of energy, and we create, takeaways and get after the quarterback. And that a lot of times is drive killers for us. And so, yeah, I think that's just a testament of the scheme and the coaches and the talent that we have and a mixture of our identity.
One more on Quan, if I could, as a follow-up. Not necessarily that, some of the other stuff. It's kind of stupid, but like, how long does it take to get like a guy his own handshake? I saw a couple of you guys working on that earlier today. I think he got a handshake with everybody on the defense already, and so it's just kind of like initiation on our defense. Everybody got a handshake except the rookies. The rookies don't get a handshake today. Get out there and make some plays, or they get into their 2nd year. But other than that, everybody got a handshake. I think he got one with all the guys. I got one with him, so I think he'll fit in.
All right, that wraps it up. Thanks, Amari.
All right, appreciate it. Be blessed.
Thanks, Amari.
Got my phone.
Yeah.
Hey, Emmanuel, we're 8 games into the season, and I know you've been on Super Bowl teams before in the past. Are there some similarities in this Saints team and some of those other Super Bowl teams you've been on?
Oh, definitely. And we're starting to find our way. Too early to even be talking about the Super Bowl. We still got 8 games left, and we're trying to keep the number one seed, right? But that's the reason why I came here. I came here to win a championship, and I knew that this was the making of a championship team. You know, we started off, rough. Uh, but as of lately, it seems like everything's starting to click. We're starting to get everybody back healthy. We're starting to be, fully united in terms of just the whole squad out there. And I think last week's performance set the bar for how good we can be. So we just gotta stay there.
Next question from Amos Morale.
Yeah, as an offense, you guys are, I believe, at the second best average starting position for your drives. And kind of an obvious question, but how does that help the offense, when you're, getting more favorable field position?
Oh man, it feels good when you look out there and that ball's at the 45-yard line. It's like, if you go 40 yards, you got opportunity for a field goal, and then you're closer to scoring the points. And then when you look in the huddle, you got Drew Brees, and you got all the talent that we got with the O-line and Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas out there. You feel like we were more than capable of doing it. So if we can just keep that, that'll be good. I remember 15 when I won a Super Bowl. Like Gary Kubiak was like big on field position, and field position is huge. And so if you can win the field position battle and capitalize on it, that's a recipe for success. And so we got to maintain that.
And I guess just a quick follow-up, how much has the special teams unit here, kind of maybe quietly contributed to that?
Definitely. I mean, we got all-pro returner, and Deontay Harris. And I mean, he's dangerous, right? Like he's one of those guys where when they're punting to him, you're looking like, all right, like this could go to the house at any moment. And so when you got a guy like that back there, I mean, the sky's the limit. And thank God he's on our team.
Next question from Nick Underhill.
The last one gave me some fans in. This one it's gone up to 6,000. I'm just curious, atmospherically and just even competitively, is there any difference for you guys having some people in the stadium as opposed to it being empty?
I think I've grown to like be used to it, right? At first it was weird, but now like I'm used to it. But when we went out to Tampa, I tell you, like having fans in the stands, like it felt weird, with the crowd noise and trying to hear everything. Like it was just different. I don't know if I liked it or not, but just having fans, I think, just with crowd noise, just semi feeling that high from the fans, it felt good. So hopefully we can have that same this weekend.
And then in San Fran with Shanahan, he's kind of a creative coach with how he uses his personnel and his groupings and everything, and then Sean does that stuff too. Are there any similarities you see just in their approach and how they design offense?
Yeah, I mean they both call plays at work, and how they hit you, like you never know how they're gonna hit you. Kyle, how he schemes up this run game. I've never seen nobody scheme up the run game. How Kyle schemes it up, and just the plays that he called and the way that he goes about his business. Like, I mean, he was literally born to be a head coach in the NFL. If you look at his background, and then Sean Payton, he comes up under Bill Parcells, and very smart, very calculated, very on the top of things in terms of predicting what the defense is going to do and putting us in good situations. And so both of them are exceptionally great coaches, and I'm fortunate to be able to play for guys like them.
Next question from Amy Just.
Yeah, obviously you're going to still prepare the same way this week, but with it being the 49ers, feel a little different going up against the team that you play for?
Truthfully, like, they're all blind faces, yeah, that's just how I feel. Like, I know the 49ers are coming in here, but for me, like, I just want to win. I enjoy my time over there, though. Everybody in that building, I cannot say, from the cooks, from everybody to the janitors. Man, I love everybody in that building because every day that I walked in there, they hit me with so much positive energy. And it starts with Kyle. Kyle sets the tone. He's a very positive dude, but he also is about working, and the same amount of work that we put in, we have fun as well. But we worked our butts off. So I enjoy being over there. But I text Wes Welker. Me and him was texting probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I told him we're about to kick y'all ass. And he kind of laughed back and blah 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 blah. But I want to kick their ass, and then after the game, like we can hug it out. But this is gonna be fun, right? Just to play against guys who I was on the same team as last year. and you know, and go at it and compete, and that's what it's about.
Next question from Luke Johnson.
Hey, Manuel, kind of a two-part question here, but what's kind of stood out to you about the Saints culture since you've gotten here, maybe as opposed to some of the other places you've been, and how do you think Quan fits into that?
I think Quan fits in really well. I mean, he's a team first player, right? Like he don't come in and say me, me, me. Like he just works his butt off. He makes his plays. He does his job, and then he goes home and he repeats the next day, right? And so he's a well, what I call a low maintenance guy. Like you don't have to put too much time in him. You know he's gonna do the right things. You know he's gonna study. And so you know we blessed to have him, and looking forward to seeing how he fits into our defense. And I know he's gonna bring the energy. Like he's an energetic player, and so I think it was a good pickup for us.
Next question from Brett Martell.
Hey man, what do you remember about this same matchup last year on the same field? It was 11 months ago, and kind of had a standout performance in that game. But I was wondering how memorable it is for you, and how it is to just 11 months later be in the same matchup on the same field with with the other team.
Yeah, I mean for me, like I played so much football that yeah, I'm always gonna remember that game, but it's not a game that like I think about like all the time, right? One thing that I do remember about that is I know that we needed that game, and I knew like I just remember like how extremely focused I was in trying to win it because I remember leaving San Fran. We were gone for like 2 weeks. We spent time in Florida because we had two games on the, pretty much the East Coast. We played in Baltimore and we lost to Baltimore. And after that game, I remember we went to Florida and we was hanging out there, and I just knew that it was a sense of urgency of we need this game, right? Yeah, I just had the feeling it was going to be the battle for the number one seed, and and I just remember after that game, like I just felt it felt so great to leave New Orleans with a win and head back to San Fran, knowing that we probably just sealed the number one seed. And obviously we have a couple more games to play versus Seattle, but I just had a feeling this game, that game that we played was the determining factor for the number one seed.
So, are you waiting for Sean to put in a passing play for you?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We might have some tricks up our sleeve. We'll see.
Next one from Amy Just.
Yeah, back to Quan. I guess what was your reaction when you found out that the Saints traded for him and you've got another familiar face in his locker room?
I think one thing like about me, like when I first got here, like I felt like I was a new guy, but I just be me. So I feel like I adjusted well, like in terms of like knowing people. Like me and Mike have grown close. Me and Traquan has grown close. Me and Curtis Johnson has grown close. Everybody on the team. Me and Cam Jordan. Like, and so man, this is a team with good players, but also even better people. And I wasn't really excited for our team. I was more happy for Quan to be able to come over and join this team and be a part of something where I feel like we can win it all. And so like I said, to have him as an addition, man, it's huge for us. And just having his energy around his positivity.
Next one's from Nick Underhill.
Is there anything about Marquez Callaway that stands out to you from behind the scenes, his approach in the classroom?
Yeah, he's a young dude that makes plays. Every time you see him, he's making a play. He still hasn't showcased what he's showcased in training camp yet. Like I've seen the dude catch a 15-yard pass and take it to the house. Like he's dangerous. He can be a home run hitter, and I know it hasn't shown yet, but he has that capability, and it's just only going to get better and better for him because he's so young. And he's a good rookie. Like he listens, he pays attention, he wants to be great, and I respect guys like that, and I enjoy being around guys like that.
Last one from Luke Johnson.
Hey, since we were talking about last year, and now you're familiar with both sides, when Mostert called it the Voodoo Dome last year and all that stuff, and like was talking about like there being a 49ers fans take over here, were you a little like, hey man, don't say that stuff because we don't want it to be too And what do you remember about that crowd last year?
It was electrifying, but it was a lot of San Francisco fans in there too. That dome was rocking, but every single time that I play in the dome, like it be rocking, and that was part of the reason why I wanted to play in New Orleans. The reason why I signed here is because I want to play in the Superdome in front of that crowd, man. It was just electrifying. So hopefully I'll be able to see that at some point. But definitely, that game last year was crazy. That game was probably the greatest game I've played in. That obviously I played in Super Bowls or whatever, but just from an offensive play calling standpoint of two coaches going at it like it's Madden, it was unbelievable to be a part of and to watch.
All right, we're all set. Thanks,
I
man.
gotta see.